If you want to understand why the dark skin sitting under your arms just will not clear, do not go looking at the brightening creams lined up at the pharmacy, and do not keep blaming it only on your deodorant. Look instead to what my grandmother pressed from 3 things she kept right in her kitchen. Good afternoon, daughter. Come sit with Mother Mary for a moment. That darkness under your arms has been quietly taking something from you. The ease of raising your hands freely in a room full of people, the sleeveless dress folded away in the back of the closet. Most physicians move through appointments in 12 minutes, and a remedy that does not come in a prescription bottle simply does not make the list. But what clears this condition, what has been clearing skin in the hills of Jamaica for more generations than I can count, has been within your reach all along. Today, I am going to share it with you. My name is Mother Mary Beckford. For over 55 years, I have walked the Blue Mountains and served my people using the remedies the Creator placed in this island's soil. My grandmother, Miss Etta, delivered babies and kept bush remedies in the hills above Port Antonio. I did not learn healing from a textbook. I learned from hands that had been healing long before I was born. Miss Etta used to say that the skin speaks for the inside of the body. When skin darkens in the folds where the body holds warmth, the old ways taught us to look beneath the surface. The belly, the living community inside, that is where the body's healing capacity lives. Tend that foundation, and the skin begins to tend itself. Miss Etta served women in those hills for 4 decades. Her mother before her served for 30 years more. And in all those generations, when women came to us carrying dark patches under their arms, thickened and discolored skin in the warm creases of the body, we never reached for a chemical cream. We reached for 3 things from the earth. Generation after generation, the skin responded. The old ways do not fail the patient who stays faithful to them. One of these 3 ingredients is going to catch you off guard. 9 out of 10 people searching for answers on dark underarm skin have never once thought to try it, because no one is putting it in a fancy bottle with a science-sounding label. And the way you combine these 3 matters. The sequence, the timing, each element builds on the last. Stay with me to the end, my child. What is waiting there is worth every minute. Before we go further, will you do something for me? Leave a comment below and tell me your age and how long you have been carrying this concern about dark skin under your arms. Have the pharmacy creams worked for you, or have they let you down? I read every single comment on this channel, and your answers shape everything I make next. Here is what we are covering today. First, what is truly driving this condition after 60 and why the common solutions keep missing it. Then the exact 3-ingredient mix, how to prepare it and how long to apply it. What to expect in the first 10 days. The one pairing that deepens the remedy's reach. And at the end, the single most important principle the old healers held about why this kind of healing works at all. One small favor before we begin. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, press that button below. It takes 2 seconds and costs you nothing, but it means the next person searching for these old remedies finds their way here. Do that for me, my people, and then we will begin. Dark skin under the arms does not start on the surface. Friction from clothing and shaving irritates the delicate skin at the body's fold. The skin responds the way any threatened thing does, thickening and darkening, trying to protect itself. Commercial deodorants carrying aluminum compounds and synthetic fragrance add another layer of chemical stress on top of skin that is already strained. And pharmacy brightening creams often rely on bleaching agents that may bring short relief but leave older skin more sensitive, prone to darkening again the moment you stop using them. What those shelves cannot give you is something that works alongside the skin's own healing rather than against it. The 3 ingredients in this remedy are raw coconut oil, ground turmeric, and fresh lime juice. Each one has been part of island healing for as long as my family's line can remember. Turmeric carries a compound the laboratories call curcumin. Curcumin works by gently slowing the skin's melanin production in the stressed area. Melanin is the pigment the skin releases under injury or irritation. Like a bruise, the body keeps refreshing. Curcumin carries a message to the skin that the threat has passed and healing can now begin. For women past 60, this matters especially because aging skin holds melanin longer and responds to irritation more aggressively than it once did. Raw coconut oil carries medium chain fatty acids that move beneath the outer skin layer rather than resting on top of it, bringing the curcumin deeper with them. And fresh lime juice brings mild natural acids that loosen the thickened surface skin, making room for what is forming underneath. In the old herb gardens above Port Antonio, turmeric has always been called yellow root. The old healers said it was not only for the cooking pot, it was for the skin, for the joints, and for anything the body was quietly holding. Here is how to prepare and use this mix. Take 1 tablespoon of raw coconut oil, softened by warming it between your hands rather than heating it on the stove. Add 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric powder, or grate the same amount from a fresh root if you have one. Then squeeze the juice of half a fresh lime directly into the bowl. Not bottled juice, my child. Fresh lime, squeeze the same evening you use it. Mix these three into a smooth paste with your fingers. Apply this each night before bed. Nighttime is when the skin repairs itself without fighting the friction of daily life. Press the paste gently under the arm with your fingertips. Begin with 30 seconds the first evening and lengthen the time by a few minutes each night through the first week, working toward 10 to 15 minutes as the skin settles into the treatment. Rinse with cool water and pat gently dry. Do not scrub. The turmeric will leave a soft yellow tint on the skin for a day or two. This is not a permanent stain. Let it be. If you are managing a skin condition under a doctor's care, have that conversation with your physician before beginning this protocol. Most people find that by the end of the first week, the skin feels softer and less reactive. By day 8 or 9, lightening becomes visible at the edges of the darkened area. By day 10, with consistent application, the improvement is often plain to see without looking hard for it. Dorothy was 68 years old, a retired school teacher from Savannah, Georgia. She had carried darkened skin under both arms for 11 years and tried 3 pharmacy creams and 1 prescription treatment without lasting relief. What was overlooked was that her commercial antiperspirant was reintroducing irritation every single morning, resetting the cycle each day. She switched to an unscented alternative and began the paste each evening before bed. After 10 days, Dorothy wrote to tell me the darkened area had improved by more than 60%. She said, "Mother Mary, I reached up to fix my hair in public yesterday, and I did not think twice about it. 3 supporting habits deepen this remedy's reach." The first is switching to an unscented crystal deodorant or a plain baking soda paste during this healing season. Many commercial deodorants keep the skin's irritation cycle running underneath everything else. Give the skin a clear path. The second is gentle exfoliation once each week with a soft, dampened cloth moved in slow circles under the arm. This helps the lime's natural acids clear away loosened surface cells and make room for what is forming beneath. Now, here is something the old people of this island understood long before the laboratories came to confirm it. And this is the third thing I want to share with you. By the time many of us reach 60, the community of beneficial bacteria living inside the gut has thinned considerably. Some studies now show this thinning reaches nearly 40% compared to younger adults. The outside world is finally beginning to map what island healers have long observed. When that interior community weakens, the skin loses some of its natural ability to regulate pigment, repair itself after irritation, and move inflammation out of the tissues. A garden with exhausted soil cannot grow strong plants no matter how faithfully you water the leaves. The root environment must be sound, and to restore that root, the bacteria inside need 3 things working together: prebiotic fiber to feed them, live probiotic cultures to sustain their numbers, and postbiotics, the healing compounds those bacteria actually produce once they are healthy and active. Without all 3 in place, the support breaks down. Let me pause here for a moment because so many of my people ask what I personally use to care for the inside of the body while doing these outside remedies. What I have come to trust is called BoochBod. It is a kombucha gummy, not a capsule, not a pill, and I know that matters to many of us. It carries prebiotic fiber, a clinically studied probiotic strain called lactospore, and a postbiotic called postbiotics LM1004. It also includes dandelion root and slippery elm, two plants that healers in these island hills have used for gut and skin concerns for generations. Over 30,000 people are using it now, and the link is in the description below whenever you are ready. And as always, speak to your doctor before starting any supplement. And now I want to share what I have been building toward from the beginning. This is the most important thing I can give you today. Consistency is the medicine. The coconut oil, the turmeric, the lime, these are not a one-time treatment. They are a conversation between you and your skin. Skin that has been darkening and thickening for months or years will not reverse itself in a single application. What it needs is the same message offered gently, night after night. The threat has passed, and healing is welcome now. My grandmother used to say the body is always listening. It is always taking notes. When you come to it again and again with the same calm, faithful offering, it begins to believe you, and then it responds. Researchers studying melanin regulation have found that consistent topical application of curcumin over several weeks produces measurable reduction in pigment concentration at the site of treatment. The laboratories are finally confirming what the old kitchen healers of this island already knew. Miss Etta would have nodded slowly and returned to her garden without saying a word. Gloria was 71 years old, a former seamstress from Burlington, Vermont. She had thickened, dark skin under both arms that her dermatologist had treated twice with chemical peels, each time without lasting improvement. What was overlooked was that she returned to the same irritating antiperspirant between treatments, resetting the cycle every time. She removed the commercial product, began the 3-ingredient mix each evening, and committed to 30 days of consistency. By the end of that month, the improvement in the darkened area was close to 75%. Gloria wrote to me, "Mother Mary, I put on a blouse with short sleeves this morning. I have not done that in 4 years. Apply the mix every night before bed. Give it 10 full days before you judge what it has done. Give it 30 days before you decide. After 55 years of watching what truly works, here are 3 principles I share with every person who comes to me with this concern. Tip 1. Soften the coconut oil in your hands, not on a stove. High heat alters the structure of the medium-chain fatty acids that carry the curcumin into the skin. Patience in the preparation is part of the healing itself. Tip 2. Consistency carries more weight than intensity. Applying the mix each night for 10 days will do more than applying it 6 times in a single weekend. The skin learns from repetition, not from force. Tip 3. Quality of turmeric matters. Fresh turmeric root, when you cut it, should be deep orange inside, almost red orange. Pale or faded powder has lost much of its curcumin content. If your turmeric does not stain your fingertips immediately, it may be too old to do its work. 3 mistakes undo this remedy more than anything else. Mistake 1. Stopping after 3 or 4 nights because you see the turmeric tinting but no visible change in pigment yet. The skin does not shift in 3 days. Stay through the full 10 before you assess what is happening. Mistake 2. Melting the coconut oil on the stove to make mixing easier. The heat changes the fatty acid structure and reduces how well it carries the curcumin into the skin. Soften it between your palms. The few extra seconds matter. Mistake 3. Continuing the commercial antiperspirant each morning while trying to heal each night. You cannot build and break at the same time. Switch to an unscented alternative during this season of healing. Your skin needs a clear path in both directions. My child, before we close, let me say something that matters. You have been carrying this quietly, maybe for years. Maybe you stopped lifting your arms freely in public. Maybe the summer dresses stayed folded away. These things touch the ease with which you move through your days, the freedom of being entirely yourself without thinking twice. And I want you to hear this clearly. It is never too late for the body to remember how to heal. At 70, at 75, at 80, the skin is still listening. The body is still taking notes. The Creator placed what you need within reach. You are the one who tends this body, and you have always known how to do that. Let me pull this together before we part. First, dark underarm skin begins with irritation and a deepening stress response in the skin, and commercial solutions often extend that cycle rather than breaking it. Second, the three-ingredient mix of raw coconut oil, ground turmeric, and fresh lime juice works with the skin's own healing response, gently addressing melanin overproduction and loosening the thickened surface. Third, apply the mix each night before bed, beginning with 30 seconds and working toward 10 to 15 minutes for a minimum of 10 consistent days. Fourth, the three supporting habits, switching your deodorant, weekly gentle exfoliation, and tending the gut terrain inside, give the remedy a clear path to work deeply. Fifth, consistency is the medicine. Coming back to the skin with the same faithful care, night after night, is what teaches the body that healing is welcome. If this reached you today, please subscribe so these old remedies find more of my people who are searching. And share this with someone you love, a sister, a daughter, an oldest friend who has been carrying the same quiet concern. Leave me a comment below. Tell me which part of this you are starting first. I read every single comment on this channel, and everything you share helps me know what to bring you next. The BoochBod link from earlier is right there in the description below whenever you are ready to take a look. Until next time, my child, walk easy and let the old ways care for you.